Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So yeah, Pratik actually set a good platform here by talking about the importance of conducting health checks on a very frequent basis. So we're going to take that forward in talking about how traditionally the assessments have been conducted in the recent past, and then how we can transform that with the help of data. As you know that there are a lot of tools which are available in the market, and there are a lot of tools available in the market, and there are a lot of data which is generated day to day for every organization. But awareness is pretty less, like how we need to use that data in a wise way to kind of conduct security assessments. So let's talk about something, how we've been conducting traditional security assessments in the recent past and now as well. So why someone prefers traditional security assessment is because it's very beneficial in terms of cost, because it involves, depending on the team again, less number of folks, and no tools, technologies are involved. Sorry. Am I audible? Thank you. So yeah, I was talking about the cost-effective nature of these traditional security assessments where tools, technologies are not involved as such, but just manpower, where we qualitatively conduct assessments, where we ask certain set of questions to the stakeholders, business users, application users, and then get some data out of them, and probably float few surveys, kind of get their responses in what their traditional practices are, where we cannot capture the entire, I would say the picture, the exact picture of what is happening in the background with the data. What they say might be something, but what is actually happening, there might be a delta in that. So that is where data actually helps you in kind of improving your accuracy. So, and then these assessments are typically hypothesis driven, where it talks about business landscape and about what is the cost which is there, benefits, etc. So there might be a lot of hypotheses behind conducting an assessment. And these assessments are typically skewed to an assessor's judgment, where probably I might be risk prone, someone else might be risk aware, and they might be not that risk taking. So it depends on the individual who is conducting these assessments. So it's a lot dependent on the external factors as such, but when data comes into the picture, it's the game is slightly upped over there. So you get some improvised accuracy because data is data. As Pratik told, there is a lot of data which is generated, but to use it accurately, there needs to be a unified data source. It improves the accuracy, and it's backed with numbers. Basically, the quantitative approach, it's backed with numbers, and it's not like skewed as we saw in the traditional assessments. And these assessments are pretty holistic, and it gives a correct picture of the entire security landscape in an organization. So these tools, as Pratik also spoke about, these actually have the capability to tackle very sophisticated threats. So that is why a data-driven approach is actually an enhanced way of conducting assessments. So what we are here to talk about is how we can conduct data-driven risk assessment along with the traditional assessment. It can give a better picture with respect to all the three domains, that is people, process, and technology. There might be errors in technology, as we all know, like there might be a lot of false positives that is arising from the technologies, but there needs to be a human intervention there to actually interpret these. Without these, I think it's going to be incomplete. And hence, we are stressing the importance on conducting data-driven risk assessments, which are going to be the future because the threats are evolving, the landscape is evolving, and there is a lot of data which is generated, and companies should use it wisely. So let's talk about some challenges with traditional assessments. So we already saw a few, but just want to kind of talk more about them. So why is this prone to more inaccuracies is because these are subjective assessments, as in when you perform a pen test, it shows where exactly which server, which hardware device is actually kind of affected. But whereas in a qualitative assessment, you don't get that level of detailing over there. But when you perform these assessments together, like penetration testing, vulnerability scanning, along with the qualitative assessment, probably you get a better picture than what you get in just performing a qualitative assessment. And these assessments are basically point in time where we use a reactive approach, but nowadays the tools which are in the market, like SOAR, SEAM, and all, these have a lot of proactive approaches where using AI, ML technologies, they kind of detect it in advance and kind of raise alerts and have probably even the capability to prevent them in advance. So again, talking about the assessor's judgment, right? So we know these are subjective, and it depends on business landscape. For example, if I'm performing an assessment in the finance, banking, and finance industry, it's going to be a bit different, where I treat the information which is probably the crown jewel for the banking industries, for example, the credit cards and all. I'll treat that more important. But when I come to another industry, probably manufacturing or something, I would treat designs and other documents which are proprietary information to the company as kind of the crown jewels. So the judgment and the process of how we conduct the assessment vary from industry to industry, from business to business, from various scenarios. So, and lastly, talking about the changes in the business context. So again, this is similar to what I was talking about. And industries, this actually is important, where a lot of crown jewels are there today and a lot of data which is there to be protected. This is to be taken into consideration, where in our opinion, where if a data-driven security assessment is conducted, it would be more effective. So how do we enhance these assessments, and what are the questions which are there for people in this forum, basically, who are here? So we might be thinking about what kind of assessments can be important for my organization. What are my crown jewels? What open source intelligence do I have from for my organization? Is there anything leaked out there? There might be multiple questions. What is right for me? So these are the questions there, and I'll ask Jyotsna to come up again and take up the other section for me. Thank you.